gonna have a house full of collectibles, you might as well collect what you like. Well, these are my world famous Chucky puppets. The majority of these puppets are from Bride. Of course, this is Tiffany, his bride. Well, my wife's the biggest Chucky fan in the world, so I kind of go after the Chucky stuff for her. She's found my site on the internet and was a Chucky fan, and we started talking from there. So Chucky introduced us, actually. My collection is mostly horror and sci-fi stuff. I like to collect a lot of the modern stuff from, you know, the late 80s up. This is the only complete corpse from a haunting in Connecticut. Though they made a bunch of them that were in the end, when the house burns down, this is the only one complete to survive. And you can see the scars of the curses that were cut into the face to keep them dead. This is a classic machete used in part 3 or 4 as a hero, but it was altered for part 5 to add this blood rig, and this was seen in the scene where he kills the victim in the car. This is one of the creepier things I own. This is Boris Karloff's actual denture, which I've screen matched to a famous publicity shot of him smiling. I've also had that authenticated by a famous forensic dentist. This here is one of the prizes of my collection. This is the actual tarbouche that Karloff wore in the original Mummy as Ardeth Bey from the 1932 production. Down there on the bottom shelf is Bela Lugosi's makeup kit. I don't know if he used it throughout his entire career, but the kit itself dates from the 20s, and it was definitely used during his last tour as Dracula over in London in like the late 40s, early 50s. This is probably arguably the most famous severed head in history. This is Tasso, which was one of the soldiers in Day of the Dead, from a classic horror film, one of my personal favorites. Well, my friends and family, they think I'm nuts. This is the Chucky bat that was used in From Dusk Till Dawn 3. It's a fully animatronic puppet covered with foam. She's in pretty good shape, but getting a little dry, wing areas. These are miniatures from Escape from New York, which is an early example of James Cameron's work when he was an FX artist. Now he's the most noted director in the world. Next to that is all you can see of the Mars set in Total Recall, which you see the train going by, but you see the crane in the middle. When I come across those certain items, and I say, yeah, to myself, you know, but I've got to have a poker face because I can't show my excitement to the person I'm buying it from, because then they'll want more. This is the hero animatronic Goliath puppet from Virus, and you can see that it still works, lights up, and still looks incredibly disturbing in person. This is actually supposed to be a human skull. Of all the cool things that I have, this is one of my personal favorites. I've gotten gems out of stuff that they said, hey, I was gonna throw this away. And you know, I've saved a lot of this stuff from the dumpster because once it gets its initial film use, you know, it's trash. Some I've collected in pieces, like the Chucky puppet a skin was in one bag, the head was in another, the teeth were in another. Some of the most valuable things in the world are things that somebody just didn't throw away years ago. And props are an example of that. My name is David Brandon. I own the website horrordomain.com. I've been a lifelong collector of horror, and you know, I always will be at this point.